Hello and welcome to my show. My name is Joel Bennett and this is called One Step. And guess what, guys? I'm feeling a little bit special today. And you want to know why? I made a new friend and I'm thankful. And not just a new friend, I have a new member to the family of One Step. Keneisha, Goulbourne-Buddoo. Did I get that right?
Yes, Buddoo.
Buddoo. I'm still a little bit jealous of the man that gave her that very
I'm jealous, but okay.
name. It's a unique name.
It is.
I've never, and he's Jamaican too?
He's Jamaican. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my audience must be curious. Who is Keneisha Goulbourne-Buddoo?
Mm-hmm. Who is Keneisha Goulbourne-Buddoo?
Yes.
Oh, well, everything I like is either unorthodox or fattening. That's who I am.
Why fattening?
I love food. Keneisha loves food. Keneisha really loves food. Okay, on a serious note, I'm from Mandeville, Jamaica.
Yes.
I went to Bishop's. Bishop is a high school for girls.
Okay.
From there, I went on to Michael. I did 3 years. Yes, Michael Teachers College, the Michael Teachers College. You have to get it right.
So that's where you did your teaching?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes. I went to Kingston as a 17-year-old. I was the youngest girl in my class,
Nice.
which is why I said everything I do is unorthodox. There was no other 17-year-old in the entire school and the entire university.
Okay.
What is this little girl doing in big people's school? But anyway, right after fifth form, I went straight there. The plan was to pursue law, and I didn't want to do sixth form. And someone advised me that if I just do teachers college 3 years, then I can apply to. You'd have a teacher's diploma. I can teach as well as I can be a lawyer.
Okay.
The law never happened. God had other plans for me.
Okay.
So did my undergrad there as well, and then off to do my master's at Florida International University, and to Canada. I went to Canada.
Straight from university.
Yes.
So you didn't teach in Jamaica at all?
Yes, I taught in
Okay.
Jamaica. I taught at Merle Grove High School for girls for 4 years.
Nice.
And then when I realized I was coming to Canada, I went back to Manchester, and I taught at Mayday High School for a year.
Okay.
Yeah, I taught CXC there, which was great. It was good being in a country school, so to speak, because I'm a country girl, and having now taught at Merle Grove for some years, I had some life lessons to learn.
Cool Mandeville.
Cool, but it's not so cool anymore. It is not. Everybody running to Mandeville to live.
Yeah.
Everybody's running to Mandeville to live. So it's not so cool, but not as hot as Kingston. And yes, so that is me. That's my background.
Okay.
And I'm now in Canada as a Canadian. I'm a Jacadian.
Is that a new term?
That's definitely something that I just bridged or coined.
Just made that up.
I made that up.
Can you repeat that?
A Jacadian. And the Oxford need to put it in their dictionary.
Jacadian.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let's put in a little bit of icebreaker here, Keneisha.
Mm-hmm.
Bucket list. Do you believe in bucket list?
You know what? I'm such a spontaneous person
Yeah.
that I feel like my life is a bucket list.
Oh my gosh.
My life is a bucket list.
Explain that.
I went from Mandeville
Yeah.
to Kingston to Miami to Toronto to Ottawa to a place called Nunavut. There's so many people who don't even know about Nunavut. It's above the tree line.
Mm-hmm.
As Jamaicans, we all we know is greenery, right? Grass and trees and all that. I lived in the Arctic, where Santa Claus came from, with the reindeers that we call caribou or tuk-tuk is the local language. Yeah.
How cold does it get there?
Oh, minus 60
Oh my
degrees
God.
Celsius. We wore real fur, from polar bears, fox, muskox. The Inuit know how to use animals to clothe you and keep you warm. Yeah.
Why did you choose that location? Was it job related, work related?
Yes. So didn't just move to. My husband and I had just bought a house in Ottawa.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine who's familiar with the area, Barhaven in Ottawa, said, let me introduce you to the community. So she invited us to a barbecue. Minding my own business, not that I usually do. I always get myself in something like this. Like I said, my life is a bucket list. So we were minding our own business, enjoying a piece of jerk chicken, and a gentleman comes to me and says, I hear that you're a teacher. Yeah. And I said, yes. He's a trained teacher. I said, yes. Certified? Yes, I have all that. He's like, okay, you're moving to Nunavut. And I said, Nunavut?
Oh, really?
What is Nunavut? Is that Northern Ontario? How do I drive there?
Yeah.
The funny thing is you can't drive there. It's totally separated.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a flying only.
You can't drive there.
No way. Not. It's impossible.
Right. I want to hear more about this.
Impossible.
Yeah.
So we had just unpacked. We were just unpacking the last box in our basement.
Yeah.
And we had to repack the house. The opportunity was great. I don't know why. A lot of Jamaicans who come to Canada land in Toronto and want to stay in Toronto.
Yeah.
It's hard. You live from hand to mouth in Toronto, literally.
I think it's just the idea of wanting to be closer to
Jamaicans. Well, like I said, everything I like is either unorthodox or fattening, right? Is it coming together now?
I'm starting to put the pieces together.
Because I don't prescribe to normalcy.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to be successful if I prescribe to that, honestly.
I like that.
If it's not a painful experience, then there's no gain, right? And I was not comfortable with where I was. Yeah. And I wanted more. And I understand that I'm stepping out of my comfort zone.
Which is not easy for most people.
And but I had a goal, right? I had big goals, and I realized that being in Nunavut the people are great. We loved living in Nunavut, and the opportunities, the professional opportunities, the career opportunities, the growth you can get there is next to none. Like I have not found it from coast to coast in Canada. Yeah. If you want a great start and just to build your career portfolio, I would recommend everybody to go to Nunavut. So you don't have to stay there forever.
There's something unique about the culture overall.
Oh, sure. It's indigenous. So there are 3 groups of indigenous people in Canada, as we know: the First Nation, the Métis, and the Inuit. Yeah. The Inuit, they call the person is called the Inuk. So Inuk, they live there. Okay. It's their land. Yeah. So you live amongst them. Yeah. You live off the land. They literally live off the land, and that's country people. Especially our parents and grandparents, I think they could relate to that because they too used to really live off the land.
Definitely.
I'm 36, so I think I got a little bit washed out and a little bit spoiled in the whole commercial supermarket, Burger King drive-through.
You're brave to be telling your age. You're different.
Did I not say this? Did I not? That was the preface on which we start.
It's coming together.
We started. Okay, so you're figuring out very quickly that I'm very different.
I like it. Honestly, I'm being straight with you. I like it.
So we're there for 4 years.
Yeah.
And the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
And I had a little guy at this time, and I got a little bit scared, I'll be honest. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh my goodness, if something happens to us, we're cut off, right? Yeah. We can't drive to Edmonton like we did coming here. So I decided to look further south. And that's how I ended up in Northwest Territories.
Okay. Now, Keneisha is from Yellowknife, but we're coming to that. Coming to that. I want to understand, Keneisha, because which subject were you teaching there?
Well...
Another story there.
That's another story.
That's why we're here.
That's another. How much time you have?
Listen, don't worry about the time.
We have enough lighting because night might catch us.
We have lights. We have cameras.
We don't have food. Oh, you don't have food.
Some water to sip.
I won't dead to thirst.
I promise you. I
will not be dehydrated.
I'll feed you afterwards.
You'll feed me afterwards. Okay, I'm gonna hold him, sweetie. Yeah. So what were we saying?
Yeah, what subject were you teaching?
So, okay, when I moved to Nunavut, so I'm a trained high school teacher.
Yeah.
And I even have some years of experience at the college level. The older for me, the better. When I moved to Nunavut, I was given a grade 1 class.
Grade 1? Grade 1. Okay. I have to start somewhere. So, well.
That starting somewhere was way far from what I'm used to, right?
I get it.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, grade 1. So I'm learning nursery rhymes and different gems and all that because I'm just like, what is this world? I do not know this world. So I taught grade 1.
Okay.
I didn't know I was pregnant, and I had to.
Okay.
Like I said.
Okay, grade 1 with kids. Maybe there was a message there somewhere. I'm gonna,
So I had to actually leave because I had a high-risk pregnancy, and I had to leave that community because they didn't have the facilities or the resources to take care of me. Yeah. Then I went back, but I went to another community called Baker Lake, which is the geographical center of Canada.
Okay.
So I was right there in the middle.
Yeah.
And there I was a literacy coach. So at an elementary school, but at least I was working with the teachers. Yeah. And that was good. And I was there for 2 years.
So you built some relationships.
Many. They're still my friends today.
That's good.
Still my friends today. As a matter of fact, I don't think in all my years in Canada, if I built greater, more, let's call them nourishing friendships like I did when I was in Nunavut.
Yeah. I find the smaller provinces, because I lived in Newfoundland.
Yeah.
St. John's, Newfoundland. And then when I came to Edmonton, I moved to Spruce Grove. And I find that like in the smaller communities, there is always community, yeah. And people are more friendlier.
Absolutely.
And they have the desire to want to get to know you genuinely.
I lived almost 10 years in Toronto. I was on the Danforth, and then I moved to Scarborough. And if I tell you that, and I'm a social person, I did not know my neighbor.
Yeah.
we'd see each other and we'd pass just good morning. Well, God bless if we even got some kind of formal greeting or the other. Yeah. But when in Nunavut, it's home. It felt like home. People just, and it's an open door policy. Yeah. As a matter of fact, in that culture, to close your door can be seen as being offensive.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So persons would come in and grab my son. You know, my son is 1-2 at this time. And they're like, oh, we're going to take him on the skidoo or take him on the ATV. That's how they get around. Yeah. And I am shaking, but then I realized this is normal. This is normal. And I loved it. Yeah. I loved it.
Reminds me of Newfoundland. That's just literally what the community and the people are like. Yeah. So I'm understanding that you've seen a lot. You've been to so many different places.
I have. And we're still look at me in Edmonton now. You never know.
What are your
thoughts? Want a neighbor?
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts of Edmonton so far?
Oh, Edmonton is nice. It's city. I mean, it's a smaller city than Toronto. I have some good friends here, and my husband has some good friends here. And actually, we were looking to buy a house in Edmonton, but we chose to buy it in Hay River. That's where I have my restaurant. Yeah. I know we're going to get to that point.
We're coming there.
We're going to get to that.
No, don't want to give it away too soon.
But no, I shouldn't be premature. But Edmonton, there's some possibilities for Edmonton.
Well, when I just came here, I mean, homes were very much affordable.
Oh, yes.
And I mean, it's not just Edmonton. I'm sure the economy has changed right across the board.
Sure.
But a lot of persons have moved from Toronto to Edmonton since or after COVID, I would say.
Many.
Because now it's almost not affordable to live in Toronto anymore.
Almost? No, it's not affordable to live in Toronto.
Let me take the almost out of that. It is not.
It's not.
Any idea why that is? Is it because foreigners are buying properties
Exactly.
running up
what
the
they
prices?
Call it? Demand and supply.
Demand and supply.
Yeah.
Okay.
The more you want it, the more expensive it is, which is ironic. But anyway.
Is that how Vancouver started out?
Absolutely.
You would say?
The same.
So Toronto is not really far.
No, they're right there. We're right there with them. Right there with them.
I'm not surprised. Well, I guess one day, who knows, maybe I don't want the housing price to go up too fast in Edmonton, but I mean, everybody wants some appreciation
on their property, so,
But people still
I am complaining, but I'm saying the same thing about my house in Ottawa. I'm like, I don't mind the fact that it's doubled,
It's
but
still there.
It's life.
Oh, it's still there.
Yes, we have it. As a matter of fact, it's on the market now for anybody who wants to buy a house in Ottawa.
This is a perfect point to pivot, because when I'm starting to understand about you, Keneisha, you guys are really financially smart, man.
Listen, my husband would probably disagree, but we try to be.
Or maybe one of the two.
One
of the two. But nevertheless,
I'm going to say we're financially adventurous. And we're learning. We're learning how to go as we go along. It comes with a lot of risks. Right.
Yeah. Nothing is without.
Nothing is without risk, but we try.
All right. So
perfect
pivoting point here. You moved. I'm not even sure if you gave up teaching to start your own business.
No.
You're still a teacher.
That's my career.
Hence the reason why this script is titled "How to Become a Successful Teacher and Business Owner."
You have to go to Michael. I don't care where in the world you're listening from.
Yes.
You have to go to the best teachers college in the world. The Michael, you start there.
That's where it all started?
You start there. I want to tell you something about that.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I'm telling you, now you have to go get this.
Hey, listen, man.
All night,
listen. Don't worry about the time.
No, okay.
Somebody's going to benefit from this script.
Okay, all right.
And then they're going to be the wiser.
Okay, all right.
I'm hoping that I benefit first, though.
You talk about my life. Who is Keneisha Goulbourne? I got myself in a lot of trouble in high school.
I want to hear about it.
A lot of trouble in high school.
People are going to say, Joel, fast.
Even fast. Inquisitive. Let's use that word.
I like that one.
I wouldn't say I was troublesome. I was bored.
Okay.
Right? I was bored, so I found ways to excite myself.
Yeah.
And I haven't changed. I have not changed. As my husband says, I can't stay still.
But just talking to you, I already get that. I already get that. And I
You
guess
have to meet me.
Listen, I've clicked with this wonderful woman the first time I talked to her on the phone. Am I like
A true chat for
because
1 hour. Stranger.
She has the energy and the openness to be anybody's friend. Listen, but remember, I'm your friend.
Okay, got it.
Hold on to that one first. But go ahead before you cut it off.
So, many detentions, and my principal knew me by first name, and my vice principal knew me by first name.
Did you have a nickname? Pet name?
Oh yes, but it was not good. It was called me Luscious. But that's another story. I was in a drama piece, but
I remember Luscious from the play.
Yes.
And I know who Luscious is. So
it was a play at school. We're not gonna venture off, eh?
We're gonna stick up in that one.
We're gonna stick up in that one.
We don't want to lose focus, yeah.
But yes, Goulbourne. Everybody call me Goulbourne.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I was too big for a first name only. You had to attach a surname to me.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to teachers college, like, 'cause I wanted to do law, but I took the route of teachers college, and I wouldn't get a recommendation.
You would have been a good lawyer. An
you never know.
lawyer.
Oh yeah, you never know. I seem to collect a lot of awards for the teaching, but I'm like, I feel like I could have collected a lot of other things for law.
Mm-hmm.
Also dollar signs.
Prosecutor, right?
Prosecutor, indeed. She wouldn't give me any recommendation for teachers college. Mm-hmm. She wouldn't, and understandably for her, I didn't understand. I still don't understand, but I get the perception and the culture of what is expected from a teacher.
Yeah.
And I wasn't it. I was loud and boisterous and troublesome, and that's what made me a darn good teacher, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Very vocal.
And I still have that great relationship with my students. It comes naturally for me.
I can see it.
And give me the bad ones. The more troublesome they are, more behavioral issues you have. All right, send them to me.
Yeah.
I'll take them, no problem. Anyway, I went to teachers college, and I'm in my third year doing my final practicum.
Okay.
Now, at this point, you get assessors you want to be objective.
Yeah.
So they get assessors from all the different teachers college across Jamaica to come and assess you for your final year. Lo and behold, guess who is my assessor?
Tell me.
My principal. Because she had moved on to the college level.
Yeah.
And when she saw me, you could see
the surprise.
The surprise, the shock, this debilitating look, like the blood drained from her body as it did mine. Because I have not forgotten this woman, right? Yeah. And she definitely hasn't forgotten me.
Obviously.
Long story short, I got Best Teacher of English Award from Grace Kennedy for the entire island that year. And she said, Keneisha, you're one of the best I've ever seen. And she apologized. And man, I cried. I'm a big crier too. Did I mention that? Very emotional person. Mm-hmm. So I bawled my eyes out. Yeah. And so that's me. You know, I don't fit the general status quo of what people would want, that mold to fit me in. That's not me.
I mean, we were talking about this today. Self-confidence goes a long way when it comes to your overall development. Yes, and I already see and sense that high level of self-confidence that you
you sure it's not a facade? I was also in drama club, you know.
I don't think so. I think it's just your general personality.
I try. The world is too small and life is short.
Yeah.
Live your best life. Put your best foot forward.
I just hope someone is listening, because Keneisha has a lot to offer, and self-confidence, like, you know what you want, you know what you're about, you know where you're going. Yeah. People will always try to steer you in their direction. Not where you want to go, indeed. Where they think you fit.
Yes.
But when you know what you want from life, that is what you should always be shooting for.
Indeed.
Because nobody knows you more than you.
Me.
And I guess you have already set the tone on that already.
Yeah.
So we want to learn some of your business acumen, Keneisha. How did you pivot? How did you strategize from a school teacher?
Yeah.
Managing being a school teacher.
Yeah.
And venturing off into business owner.
It's on my bucket list. was always to own a business
Really?
since I was a child.
Okay.
My father was a trucker. My mom worked in a bank for almost 40 years. And my father is the least educated yet made the most money.
Yeah.
And my sister, like he had good business acumen.
Could you say it was street smart too?
I'm going to say bottom line,
Very
that was street smart.
I feel like that's an intelligence that is underrated.
Underrated. So, which is so funny because I always just pivoted into my child. I said, I have to teach him street smartness too. You can't just cuddle them and give them everything they want. Because street smart is what really get people through life. That's common sense.
Universities don't teach you that.
No, they do not. No, they do not. Yes, so owning a business was always on my bucket list. Yeah. So it's not to go to Maldives and go on cruise and all. I mean, I feel like those things will come into play, right? That will fall into play. That's not my bucket list. Yeah. So business was one of those things. Yeah. And aligning yourself with like-minded people.
Bingo.
Is such a skill in itself.
Secret ingredient.
It is that ingredient you need for that recipe of success. And I've always, like, I think I said it to you earlier on that I people would sometimes say I'm salt, but it's so important for me to assess an environment, and that means checking out different environments. Correct. And I knew what it is that I wanted in my inner circle. Yeah. I need to meet toxic people, and I need to meet career-driven people, and I need to meet family-oriented people, and I need to meet business. Like, you need different categories of people in your life. Very true. Not because you like music, you want to talk to musicians. Like, you have to branch out, and I did just that. And I find that energies just will attract to people what you want. So we're just at a table just like this. Yeah. As a matter of fact, not much bigger than this. We were just chatting, having a glass of wine. And this concept of owning a restaurant came up as a joke. And I'm like, well, in that particular circle, there was a chef. My husband, he's also a trained teacher, but he's also a business trained teacher as well. And he's really good with project management because he left, when we met, I said, we both, two teachers can't be nice. Nah, you need to go find something else to do. So he did HR and project management and all that. So he's really good at developing business plans. A well-rounded guy. He really is. Okay. He really is. So there's that, and then there's my other business partner Henry, who he's shout out to Henry. Shout out to Henry. He's the one on the grounds in Here River. Yeah. He's a Jamaican in Here River for about 20 plus, maybe 30 plus years actually, because his kids were raised there. So he knows the ins and outs of the community and what exactly they need. Okay. And then there's me. I don't know what I bring to the table, but apparently I'm the catalyst. They talk and I said, like, guys, let's do it. And they look at me like, really? And I'm like, let's do it. I just pull us together. Yeah. And I said, let's go. Let's do it. Let's go check out this place. We went and we looked at the restaurant. Yeah. We had a chef. Gosman knows the accounting. I know social media and the marketing and all that. Okay. And Henry knows the community. The next thing we know, we were buying the restaurant. Call it an impulsive decision, but it was a meaningful one. So it's a combination of, it's a team of you guys just three of us together. Yeah, well, my husband, two families, And I'm noticing that everybody brought something. Everybody's done. Yeah. And we did it. We started the restaurant. And I'm trying not to get too personal. Get personal, man. It's fine. In terms of the financial aspect of it, how did that part play out? Did you guys just bring your own thing to the table, or you had to go to the bank? We did not go to the bank. Okay. We did not go to the bank. And I'm going to tell you why. None of it was just so good to us. And that's why I can't understand why people want to stay in the city. Yeah. Branch out, man. There's opportunities. They don't know. Opportunities to be had. And that's why you're changing the game right now. Get out, man. Get out. You don't have to live hand to mouth. Yeah. And at the same time, you're going there to give, not just to get, right? When you go to these small communities, you're going there to make some kind of change and be a part of that community. People getting out of their comfort zone is hard. You saying it and doing it is another thing. Yeah. And like I said, you have to want something enough to want to make certain sacrifices. Right. And people don't like to make sacrifice, and they don't like to come out of their comfort zone. And some people's bucket list is going to wearing the latest, the longest eyelashes and the longest nails and wearing the latest Prada bag. No, that was never my bucket, but it comes when you work hard enough. And actually, I don't work hard. Yeah. I work smart. Okay. Yeah, I don't work. No, I mean, I like work hard. Never have. Never have.
Is it a woman thing?
We just know we just know how to. Yeah, sorry, we know how to multitask. Not my fault that the testosterone species does not understand how to multitask.
And that's why we need a other half.
Other half. That's
who can
right.
complement that deficiency.
That's it.
That we have.
That's it.
Shout out to all the ladies that can complement our deficiencies. So you guys came together.
So we came together.
You pool your funds together.
So no loans at all.
Okay.
Debt free going in, which in itself is great, right?
Yeah.
And I told you how that happened, and we put an offering on that restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was ours.
Wow.
Then we sponsored 2 chefs, but that took a good year, 14 months. They just came a month ago.
Were there other challenges?
Oh, of course.
Can we hear about the challenge? Because I don't want people to get the idea that starting and running a successful business doesn't have its challenges.
It's many challenges. It's such a learning curve because as much, let's say for my husband, as much as project management and business was his forte, a restaurant was never his forte. No experience or very little experience there. Learning the softwares, the accounting softwares, payroll.
Did you all do that yourself first before you hire people, right?
Yeah. The vendors that we're going to source our food from, front of house, staffing. Yeah. Staffing was
the hardest part.
And it's not even staffing, but the consistency of staffing.
Okay, so there was a bit of turnover in the get-go.
And it continues to be that. There are many days that we had to close.
Why is that so though?
Well, people don't want to work in a boy.
Oh,
people I don't know. People are I don't know. I don't know. Because it doesn't matter the dollar figure you offer.
Yeah.
People don't want to work.
I get that. Okay.
So which forced us to sponsor outside, and we're sponsoring right now for front of house, so we just can have that stability. The community needs that stability. Once the restaurant is open, or doors are flooded. Right?
Tell us what the name of that restaurant is.
Big Lake. Oh, I can't believe I didn't market my restaurant from the jump.
I am here.
Big Lake Eatery and Cafe in Hay River, Northwest Territories.
Okay.
Yeah, Jamaican and Canadian bistro.
I'm just letting you know, I'm gonna put that in the comment section.
Yes.
Just in case people want to look you up. Is there a website?
Yes. And Big Lake Eatery. And into social media. People hardly go to web. Just go on social media. Big Lake Eatery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there were challenges.
Mm-hmm. And continue to be challenges. Financially too, even now, today, right now. With the restaurant being closed, because of the forest fires.
Oh, we're coming to the forest. We're coming to the forest fire.
We're coming to that.
What is the best part though of running that restaurant?
Seeing the people happy. Yeah. I think I told you before that I live for people. You're a people person. My take home is you smiling when you walk away from me. So knowing that we're making a small dent in the community and that we are recognized in terms of offering something that's a necessity is the biggest plus for us. Of course, all the other cliche things that come with one. Sure, of course. Okay. But my personal achievement with owning a restaurant is just knowing that people are happy and our food tastes good.
I can imagine. Is there oxtail on there?
There's oxtail. Nice. The only thing we don't have a cold food yet.
No cold food?
Yet.
Stew peas. I'm sure there's ackee and saltfish.
Of course.
Shout out to Jamaican
ackee and saltfish. Even though my Canadians love to call it egg. I'm like, it's not eggs, guys. It's not eggs.
I've heard someone
sacrilege. Sacrilege. God. It's almost sinful to hear it.
Egg.
It's not eggs.
we wanna take away some stuff from you, Keneisha, because the program is called One Step. Let's talk about the journey.
Oh.
And journey in and of itself has its ups and downs. There's challenges, there's success, there's failures, which you have already listed. And we want people to understand that that is the general idea where life is concerned. And everyone have a story.
Sure.
And if we can share our stories with each other,
the
information world, the IT world would call that data.
Yeah.
And data is not just for online processes.
Right.
It's for life on a whole. And so when I share my journey, when you share your journey, we can take something from it to improve ourselves. And if not us, our kids, their kids, and maybe the person who is struggling with life now on a whole, we want to play a part to contribute to that person's life so we can all improve ourselves and dodge some of the failures that comes and the hurdles that come with life. So from your experiences, Ken, from your years of journeys, your success, your failures, what would you say that you have learned that you really want people to, you know, when somebody uses that and I say, I really want you to know this.
Sure.
I want to hear that you really want you to know this experience.
People have to be risk takers.
Yeah.
You know, I told you I just finished my master's when I moved to Canada. What I didn't tell you is the fact that I came on a caregiver program.
Okay.
I was a nanny.
A
nanny.
There you go.
From a middle class home, just about to pursue my PhD.
Okay.
I decided that I wanted more to life. And if it meant being a nanny for 2 years, just so I could have the opportunity to be in Canada, I have no problem taking it.
I bet people think that you came here rich and successful.
Rich and successful.
And you just start off bling and you start pop.
No. And I had so many friends and family who tried to sway me away from coming. Keneisha, no, you don't need to. You see, I don't have short sight.
Yeah.
You have to have foresight. And you have to think ahead. Not just what you want for yourself, but what you want for your children and your children's children. And I love Jamaica, right? But I knew that I needed more than that.
Yeah.
And I understand the trajectory of Jamaica in terms of careers as well.
Yeah.
So I decided I was going to be a nanny. And even though they say it's nanny, it's not nanny.
I bet people look down on that.
Of course.
Yeah.
I was, God bless how many kids I actually worked with. I was helper. I was the one who was cleaning and cooking. I was a helper. Jamaican know exactly what a helper does.
Of course.
And it didn't matter my credentials that I brought. That's who I was for two and a half years until I got my open work permit. So when you talk about challenges and successes and what is something that I can definitely impart to others is that be risk takers. Do not limit yourself, right? Pursue you.
Yeah.
Right? Do not listen to the naysayers. If there is something to be achieved, go for it. Also be patient with yourself.
Okay.
Right? Nothing happens overnight.
Yeah.
You know, and start saving early. That's a big one.
Don't worry, a financial show is coming. A financial script is coming.
I can't. My son is 4, and he has to save. Yeah. We have a saving account for Daniel and a piggy bank. Yeah. Because it's one of those things that I don't think parents do enough, and people in general do enough.
I think overall, when it comes to money literacy, it's
lacking financial literacy.
It's a struggle for us all, and even the ones that have gone to university and have majored in finance, and money is something that we all have challenges with.
And don't think that for people, I don't have enough money, so I can't do anything. Yeah, falls. If it even means saving $1, it will add up. Practice.
To put away a little bit of money here or there till it becomes a habit.
It's not how much money you make.
How much you keep.
How much money you save. And I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
My husband will tell you right now, he said that we're a little bit, financially savvy and we've made some good moves.
Hey, shout out to that husband.
I tell you, Buddoo.
Shout out to that husband.
My honey.
Gosh.
He would say to us, if we had made better financial decisions, we could have had 3 restaurants.
Yeah.
And he's right.
Yeah.
He's right. We could have had 2 more houses. And we're not rich. We're not rich. I'm a teacher.
You guys are smart people though.
We're a teacher. It's just, And I still like this fan. I think I was in Florida. Yeah. I was in Florida for 3 weeks. And I spent a lot of money. More money than I should have.
Women, I tell you.
But you know what I'm doing right now? Mm-hmm. I have to find a second hustle, a third hustle to pay. It's not going to sit on my credit card. Mm-hmm. And that's me. Mm-hmm. If it means I have to go to Tim Hortons for 1 hour every month, I haven't done that, but I'm saying it's okay for me to do that.
Yeah.
I would never look down on that.
Yeah.
If, can I do Uber for a week and just drop $2,000? Because I will do that. That's me. That is me.
Okay.
So if you want someone to clean or something, let me know.
You fancy. You're fancy.
Yes, I will put on my crepe and do my work and then put on my Louis Vuitton heels when I'm done. Because that's me. Yeah.
Listen, whatever makes you happy.
Whatever
makes you happy. I guess, again, you're just hitting all the points here. Let's talk about relationship.
Wow.
Your favorite topic.
My favorite topic. Now I start sweating. Room got glammy.
I cannot have you on my show, Keneisha, and not get some relationship advice from you.
I need relationship advice, Joel.
Of course, man.
Relationships.
Men and women, we both need the information as to how to improve being a good husband, partner, spouse, whatever you want to call it. Both males, females. Yeah. Give us some wisdom. Impart some wisdom for us.
I can give you some failures, and then you.
Hey, listen, we learn from failures too.
That's me.
So if you even want to start out with the failure, give us that data.
Okay, what is the age group of your listeners generally? Do you have an idea of that data?
Why should there be an age group?
Why should there be an age?
If you're old enough to be in a relationship,
you're old enough to listen.
You're old enough to find out what you did to do that.
Social media. When
When
it comes to measuring your relationships and what it is that you can get.
Is anybody even listening to that nowadays?
Not a soul. Because everybody's glued to their cell phone.
Yes.
And not outside of seeing that facade, that world of social media. Yeah. They're also, because of that, they're ignoring the real relationships that's in front of them, right? Because they're so distracted by that cell phone or that computer or that iPad or whatever it is, that instrument that they're on.
I wonder if people understand that the things they see on social media. I mean, you can go and put on some makeup and put on the fanciest of dress, go in front of somebody's car or house, take some pictures, dance a bit, and create a facade that people accept as reality.
Yes. You know, it's so funny you said that. I told you I was in Florida the other day, living my best life. And I rented a car. It was a GT Mustang 2023, right? Drop top on the whole nine. Of course, I took some pictures. I had friends calling me saying, Keneisha, congrats on this new car. I said, Lord God. It's like I have to have a disclaimer. This is not mine. This is not real. And then I realized, my goodness, it's a perception, right? And I'm like, no, this house that I was in, I'm like, guys, that's an Airbnb. I do not own this property. But they just want to see that, and then they start judging their own lifestyle. What is Keneisha doing to be achieving these big things? Guys, no, do not live your life based on what you see. That's number one.
It's an everyday affair. When it comes to social media and people being fooled.
Yes.
That their life is
limited.
Not.
Yes, they're lacking. They don't have enough.
Tom and Mary is living the life, and I'm here still struggling. You don't even know who Tom and Mary is.
That's right.
So.
That's right. Relationships, it's the same thing. When you're in a relationship, do not judge or measure the tenets, the skeleton of your relationship based on Tom and Jackie's relationship. And we have a tendency to do that. I also did that at one point, like, I wish we communicated more. I wish we laughed more. And while that is good, we want laughter in a relationship. We want to be able to have fun with each other. Do not find happiness and what happiness looks like because you saw it in other people's relationships, because that might not be the case at all, right?
It's so much fun to just build and create something with someone and just leave the rest of the world alone. Why can't we all just do that? I remember this soca song. This lady said, "Just drinking my water and minding my own
business." Yes. Speaking of water,
drink some water.
You want drinking water, however you're thirsty. And relationship, men, be aware of what your women need.
Tell us what
before we have to tell you.
Tell us what women need, Keneisha.
Water in this case right now.
How are they gonna know that?
You look how long you see me sitting here. You didn't realize that I wasn't drinking the water.
I was having so much fun. I'm drinking my own water, and minding my own business.
Well, here's a relationship tip.
Yeah.
Ask her what you want in life. In your relationship, tell your partner what you need. Do not assume that because you face makeup or you are disgruntled, you have a disgruntled appearance, that your spouse or your significant other is going to tap into that immediately. Use your words. I say that to my son all the time. Honey, use your words. Yeah. In a relationship, use your words. Do not hesitate to speak about what you want. Yeah. With that said, whether man or woman, you need to know what you want before you can ask somebody else for something.
Very much so.
You got to know yourself. I was telling you early on, it's so important that we know how to love ourselves first before we say we love somebody else. Fall in love with yourself. Date yourself. Get turned on by yourself.
I'm wondering if people know what that phrase means.
Not many.
Loving yourself first before you can love someone else.
Yeah.
Someone else.
Not many.
We tie that in with self-confidence also. Because if you are not bold in who you are and confident in who you are, I don't see how you're going to find that in someone else.
Exactly. Do not try to find your happiness in your partner.
Thank you for sharing that, Keneisha. I could press you for some more, but I'm going to give you a little break because we want to talk about Yellowknife. Your hometown.
Yeah.
I know that Yellowknife is located in the Northwest Territories.
It's the capital of Northwest Territories.
What's the population?
Just about officially 20,000, but there's about just under 30,000 people there.
Okay, so it's over 20,000.
Over 20,000 people.
All right, I just want to make a quick highlight here that Keneisha is from Yellowknife. Yellowknife has been devastated by a terrible forest wildfire. Several wildfires.
Yeah.
And she and her family had to evacuate, and others
flee.
I'm gonna show you guys something in the comment section.
Yeah.
And so Keneisha is here in Edmonton now, not knowing when or if she will be able to go back to Yellowknife because all the occupants
have been evacuated.
Yes. And there is no updated information as to when anyone will be able to go back home.
No, nothing officially yet as to when. They should have started, essentials service workers should have started today.
Yeah.
But then there was something off the highway and they had to halt that movement. So we're here potentially for another week or 2 or 3 or 4.
And I know that persons that are listening might not even know about what's happening in Yellowknife. And so I know that this is going to be tough, Ken, but I'm going to ask you if you could just, how it all started, like what exactly happened. You were at home one day, you saw, walk us through that event.
So, I don't have my dates all right because it's, oh my God, things happen so quickly, as well as I took things for granted for quite a while. I mean, I saw the smoke, but we'll be fine, that kind of mentality. Yeah. But in July, I had just returned from Florida and I brought my mom up to visit us in Yellowknife. And the smoke was just so thick. Yeah. But I kept saying to myself, and I'm getting sick while this is happening. I'm coughing, and people are telling me to stay home and put on your N95 mask. But I'm still saying we're fine because I knew that there are forest fires in all the other smaller communities. But Yellowknife being the capital, I took for granted that we'd be safe enough, that the powers that be would do whatever it took to keep the fires at bay. And that's such a privileged and a selfish way to have thought about the situation, but that is exactly what I thought. So actually my husband had visited Hay River. That's where we have our house and the restaurant, which is about 4 or 5 hours drive from Yellowknife. Okay. South. It's in the South Slave. Okay. So he went to Hay River to because the 2 chefs that we had sponsored just help them settle in on some training and whatever is needed. And then while he's there in the middle of the night, he gets, I guess an alarm goes off in the community, and Hay River is pretty small, just about under 4,000 people. An alarm go off and everybody's been told head south, which means head to Alberta, because there's an impending fire. And my husband, he's trying to talk to me. It's a total uproar. He went down for one night, so he had nothing, no passport, nothing, just a vehicle and his credit card and his phone, and that's it. So he had to grab everything and go. Even with this, I still think I'm fine in Yellowknife, right? We're fine in Yellowknife. So I know he's fine, and I'm like, you men have proven to us that you can survive in this world by yourselves.
I don't believe that.
You guys are so resilient. I mean, that's why we need you, right? Because you just know how to grab a bull by the horn. So I wasn't too worried about him. I'm kidding. I was petrified, actually.
She's just joking.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I have my mom and my son in Yellowknife, and the smoke is just getting thicker and thicker. Yeah. And I'm hearing people talking about leaving. Yeah. Okay, I just got back. I'm getting ready to go back to work. I start this new school year, and my son is going to go into a camp. Just wrap up the summer. I'm not going anywhere. We're fine. And then a good friend of mine, her husband calls me, and he says, "You have to go now." And I'm like, I'll go later. No, leave now. Okay. So I'm asking Mom, you want to go? I am still pessimistic. I am still reluctant to taking this thing seriously. I must have been numb or something. I don't know. Denial.
Yeah,
that's exactly. Because I was like, Mom, like it's optional. We're going to go for a drive. I'm like, Mom, you want to go? You think we should go? And she's like, okay. I'm like, all right. So I call a colleague. And she said their family is also leaving, so we can trail them. And they have a, what do you call that? That truck with a bed.
Okay. Like a camper?
Camper.
Okay.
And just trail us. It's fine. We're leaving Yellowknife. Yeah. And that's when the reality hit me. When you see the forest fires on the side of the highway.
See the fire this time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And my heart is pacing. Yeah. My son is very scared because there's blazing fire around us, and the atmosphere is just this bright orange. It's fire.
Yeah.
There's between Yellowknife and there's a small community called Betchico. It takes about an hour drive. People work and live in Betchico, coming between Betchico and Yellowknife easily every day. It took us 3 hours. Because there's just so many people trying to get through, as well as slowing down, and people who are manning the highway saying, no, you can't go that way. There's too much fire crossing.
Okay. I know.
I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I'm laughing. So that was scary. And everybody else that in the group, we're like in a convoy heading out. They seem so ready. They had
well prepared.
They were well prepared. Yeah. They have their tents and their campers and what do you call those red gas thing, jerry cans.
Jerry cans, yeah.
All I have is my 2 long hand, my pitney, my mother, and our documents.
So you guys didn't grab any clothes?
We had had like two suits. Like I thought.
You thought it was just gonna be today and then
tomorrow go back home. We're all right. Again, this is I guess this is panic. This is what panic looks like. Even though I wasn't screaming and carrying on, but I think I had to shut down.
You're in shock.
I was in shock. Yeah, because I like I said, I brought my 2 long hands and my family. We got to the gas station. I need to fill up. That gas station line was about 2 kilometers long.
Gosh.
Like no joke. Everybody was out. Yeah. And I waited for 3 hours for gas. Bear in mind that I have people waiting on me, all these people who are well prepared and they knew what was happening, and they waited on me. And I tell you, when I talk about friendships and relationships and making sure that you have the right people in your corner, people who are not valuable and you don't bring some kind of value to that relationship, they're going to leave you a long time, right? You're not worthwhile. They waited. Yeah. They stuck around and said, Keneisha, we will not leave you behind. So shout out to my St. Patrick colleagues, St. Pat's. I call it St. Patrick High School, Yellowknife. Yeah, I love them. I love them. So they took care of us. Yeah. We slept on the ground that night, but that's all right. And it took us about 3 days to get to Edmonton. And you see this band on my hand. Mm-hmm. This is to say that I am a refugee in your community. It's from the Edmonton Expo to say that I'm an evacuee, and we get access to certain services, breakfast for some people, and I get to, there's certain resources that I can bring my son to the zoo and stuff, and if I show them this,
So you guys are being taken care of.
The government has done a fairly good job in making sure that we are accommodated. So we're at the hotel, we're downtown.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't had a home cooked meal in a while, outside of when I visited my husband's friends here.
Yeah.
But we're safe. We're safe.
I just want to highlight that there's a donation site.
Yeah.
It's called the United Way and Northwest Territories. They're accepting donations for...
And Red Cross too.
And Red Cross also.
It's the reason why I'm even here with you right now.
So anyone want to contribute?
Thank you. Yeah.
For those family,
yeah.
I'm sure they will really appreciate it. Yeah. Just wanted to highlight that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because there are some families that are really destitute. Even coming down here, I can't imagine those who couldn't afford to come, what they did. Or for the first week, we had to financially foot that bill.
Yeah.
How other families did it, it's rough on many. And if it's rough on us, I can't imagine those in others. Yes.
Is this something that happens every year though?
Like no. Wildfires? Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, sure.
There's some form.
The
intensity might be...
never like this. This is unprecedented. Right across Canada, not just Northwest Territories. Yeah. And I think globally, something is happening. Oh, yeah. We saw what's happened in Hawaii and what's happening down in the U.S. with the flooding and the hurricanes. So the world is kind of turned upside down right now.
It is.
In terms of climate.
The summer has never been this hot.
Yes.
I've never experienced a summer like this in Edmonton or Canada overall.
Sure.
So the world is changing, man. And I just hope that we're mindful of these things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So if you're a smoker,
yes, do
not throw that cigarette butt on the ground. And we take it for granted. And I know many people who smoke and we just toss it. Yeah. That's one of the biggest problems that's happening.
And fires have been easily caused by just someone smoking.
Just that. Having a barbecue and thinking that it's fine, but all it takes is a little flint and it starts. Yeah.
Keneisha, it is a privilege. We are now friends.
We are now friends.
For life.
I know I have a kitchen downstairs that I can come.
Yes, you do. And if you're still here when winter comes.
Oh, God forbid.
You never know.
Man. You never know.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed that I'm not here. I can come and visit.
Wherever you will be in the world, just remember that you have a brother to call upon for whatever it is.
Joel, thank you. Thank you.
The show is called One Step, where we talk about the journey. We just want to love up Keneisha for coming on today.
Thank you.
And sharing some gems and giving some love and just making our lives a little bit more appreciative, because most persons don't understand that however you are living, wherever you are in the world, just appreciate what you have.
Indeed.
And so we want to thank our viewers for just hanging in there, listening to our stories, our banters, rants and gems.
Yes.
Thank you for dropping by. The show is called One Step. My name is Joel Bennett. Keneisha, leave us with an encouragement.
After drinking water.
After drinking water, of course.
I amaze myself on most days, and then there are other days that I put my keys into the refrigerator. But if I have anything to leave you with is love you. Love yourself, and then you love others, and everything else will fall into place. Don't go chasing. Good things will follow you. Have a good heart.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Thank you for dropping by, guys. You all take care.